So, Manny, congratulations on the prom.
Thank you.
You know, everybody wants to work with Ryan Murphy. How did you get this gig and as a cinematographer for this musical comedy?
Well, Ryan took a liking to A Star Is Born, and you know, I was prepping a film called Akira with Taika Waititi, and then that film ended up going down. And the day it went down, I got a call from my agent saying that Ryan Murphy wanted to meet with me. And of course, you know, Ryan, being familiar with his work, of course, you know, you want to, I'll take the meeting. He took me out to lunch, and he told me about the prom. And the most important thing about the whole thing is that it just seems so important to him. You know, and that's what really that's what really convinced me that I wanted to work with him. Is that there's a genuine love for the content and the material that he had.
So you just did A Star Is Born and now the prom. What are the challenges of filming musicals compared to other movies that you've done?
Well, those are both different. I mean, A Star Is Born is something that, you know, the music is as much of it as a part of the narrative. It's not like a musical, and a musical is that was the thing that was the most challenging part and most exciting part, really, about doing the prom, is that, you know, I wasn't a fan of musicals before this. So you know, it was like, how do you do this? How exactly do you make a musical a movie? So that was what was exciting to me, and trying to figure out was pretty much the you know, the heavy lifting of preparing for this film, was trying to figure out how that would be. But Ryan had a vision for you know, getting into the film really quickly through a moving camera, and he makes very bold choices in everything he does. So as a cinematographer, you just embrace that. You embrace somebody who wants to make bold choices, and you embrace somebody who has a vision of how they want to move the camera, and then you just accommodate that. That's what my craft and skill is supposed to be able to accommodate.
What does it mean when the lighting here in the prom is improvisational for you? Can you talk about that?
It's funny. It's like doing interviews. People are throwing my words back in my face. But what it is that, you know, in modern times, we don't get the rehearsals that we used to get. You know, I used to hear stories about my friends who worked on Dreamgirls, for example, and they were able to rehearse the number on stage and get the lighting cues just right. I never get that. So when I say it's improvisational, it's about being able to react to the first time that I see the performance happen on the actual set, and then I have to work really quickly to make sure the lighting is, you know, doing the right things, accommodating the actors, and also transitioning from a visual standpoint in the grand scheme of things from one place in the narrative to another. The best example of that is the last prom, the very final finale of the movie, where, you know, it starts off with just Emma and Alyssa, and then it graduates to a celebration. But there's a lot of beats in between those two moments that are lighting cues that have to be created on the day. So that's kind of what I mean by improvisational lighting. It's just, you know, I have to react to the tone and performance, and be sensitive to it.
And you filmed a lot in Los Angeles, including the Northridge Mall. Were there a lot of people walking there, shopping, or you just closed the whole mall?
I never want to shoot in the mall again. I just, it was just, there's nothing less cinematic than a mall. But look, you know what's great about it, as I look back on that scene, is that it is a scene that, you know, it was more for our movie and the reality of our movie. It was more Indiana than Broadway, you know, and it was able to take the same energy from a musical performance and the choreography, the amazing choreography from Casey Knopfler. Like, it was amazing to just be able to see that all happen in such a banal location like a mall. You know, that thing starts in a food court on the second floor, ends up on an escalator, and then ends up inside a fountain. And, you know, when I say that, it sounds ridiculous, but, like, you know, that's the scene. And, you know, it was a challenge because we had to keep pushing people out of the way because it was an open mall. and it was November, so and we're using the light from a skylight in the center of the mall to light the scene for the most part. So there's some technical challenges there, just to be able to get everything we had to get. But what's nice about like choreography and dance is that, and what I learned is that, I learned this also in Black Swan. It's like it's not hard for the dancers to accommodate the camera because they work so fast. Ideas. As I watch choreography happen, I watch Casey work, and I watch the dancers work, and I watch Ryan make a suggestion about it in a rehearsal. They're able to switch on like a dime. They're able to react so fast, and it was a great lesson for me in my career. It's like we need, and that's kind of how I go about my job. Is I have to be able to react that way too.
And how was it working with Meryl Streep, Nicole Kidman, and James Corden in this film?
Oh, it was like a dream come true. I think if I had made this film 10 years earlier, right, I probably wouldn't have enjoyed it as much as I did in this occasion, because I'm at a point now where I could let go of some of the things that my responsibilities dictate, and actually enjoy where I am, and watch everything happen with a front row seat and see these performers, the brilliance and the subtleties, the larger movements and the smaller ones, like that you can watch a person like Meryl Streep perform is, it's beyond film school. Let's put it that way. It's watching art being created at its very origin. And James Corden as well, an immensely talented man. And Nicole is just like, every bit the movie star you would expect her to be. And she's just like a phenomenal. Again, she's just all of them. Andrew Reynolds too, Keegan Michael Key, Kerry Washington, Ariana, Joellen, all of them. They just have such control of their instruments that it was like watching music being played to me.
And you mentioned about the filming being stopped also in March. Was it because of the COVID? What were the challenges of filming following the protocols?
Fear, really. Coming back to work and finishing the movie, there was a lot of fear. And more. It was just more, maybe not fear in a scary sense as much as just anxiety about not knowing what this thing was, and not in the same reason we shut down. And I felt good about them making the decision to shut down because we just didn't know enough about what was happening. And even when we started shooting again, I still didn't know enough about what was happening. And it is an immense distraction to wear a mask and a face shield and continue to wash your hands and not eat lunch and be in zones where you can't see certain people and still try to be a creative person is not easy. So, but filmmaking perseveres in many ways, and I think that it did. What it did, the shutdown provided us really was an opportunity to evaluate the movie. It gave Ryan a chance to evaluate the movie, so we could attack the things that we owed to finish in the right way. So there's always a silver lining, but
I know,
we're
yeah,
not out of this yet. So it's still there's a somber tone to my voice because of it.
yeah. I know with the lockdown, so there's no traveling. But when was the last time you went to the Philippines, and when do you plan to go back?
I plan to go back as soon as I can after this. Once we defeat COVID, we defeat that little the spiky ball that I keep seeing in images. When we crush that thing into the ground, then that's when I plan to go back. But I was there 2016, maybe 17. I was doing a master class with many of the cinematographers in. And I actually joined the LPS. I'm a member of the LPS. I'm an associate member of the, or honorary associate. I don't know what exactly my official is, but yeah, I'm part of that Cinematography Society in the Philippines, the LPS. So I'm proud of that. And I'm proud of, at that last trip to the Philippines, to have met all those people. And I just wish them all well.
What do you miss most about the Philippines?
The food.
Lechon,
No, I'm more sinigang and
sinigang.
pinakbet. Yeah,
And you're a good chef yourself.
I can make those two things. Arroz caldo as well. Everybody, I can make all those foods to satisfy myself, but when my mother makes them, it's a lot better.
You know, Christmas is just around the corner. How are you planning to celebrate with this lockdown?
I think I'll have a you know what, it doesn't feel very celebratory to me, but you know, having my mother on Zoom maybe, and having my kids making one Filipino dish. I haven't decided which that would be, and then just trying to relax. Really, I'm in the middle of a film right now, so it's just time off for me, and you know, Pasco is different this year. You know.
Thank you very much, Maddie, for your time, and hope to see you in person next time.
Yeah, it's nice to see you.